Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for ICONversations. Today, we have 5 of our amazing icons here to bring a freight train of knowledge for you on the stage. From Alberta, we have Patrick Kraus. From Florida, we have Roberto Paradis. Also from Florida, we have Ricardo Hidalgo. From California, always keeping it sunny, we have Sunny Randir Singh. And from Virginia, our moderator is Laura Rowe. Laura, the mic's yours.
All right. Thank you so much. I love doing this. Second time I've done it. I really enjoy being the moderator as well. I am Laura Rowe. I'm actually from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I don't run a team anymore, but I have been an agent for almost 24 years. I do about between 15 and 16 million a year. I am tracking to do that this year. So that's us. And I would love to see Sunny. Will you give us a little bit of your background? I'd love to know basically exactly where are you from, how many transactions you do, and also in the millions. And then the last thing I did want to add this moderating is that let's drop our Instagram in the chat so people can follow us if they'd like. So go, Sunny, you're up.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Sunny Singh. I'm from sunny California, southern part of California. I go by my name. I do business all over Southern California. I don't limit myself to one particular city or the county. And the transaction-wise, last year I did 15 million. I'm a solo agent. And my motto is spread happiness, spread kindness, and don't forget to dance.
Great. That's awesome. Hey, Ricardo, good to see you again. You want to go ahead and give us basically the lowdown on you?
Yep. So I run a small team, 3 other individuals, and then just myself. We do about 30 to 35 million a year. It's probably about 55 to 60 transactions. And we mainly cover the beach markets or the Gulf markets on the Emerald Coast of Florida. Some people may know it as Death Center, Pano City Beach, or 30A.
Great. And then let's go to Roberto.
Hi, how are you? My name is Roberto Paredes. I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. Basically, my specialty, I sell pre-construction in Miami and Orlando, and I do it from my home. So we focus especially in international clients. About the numbers, I believe I don't have them like very clear, like I haven't checked, but we sold like about like 6 million or something like that, and gross in commissions. This year only 200K. But the good thing about the pre-construction, and I want to share this with anybody, that you guys can sell pre-construction is amazing when you can have commissions of 6-7%, and they will pay it to you basically in a couple of years. Like for example, you sell a home and you get 2% now, 2% when they break ground, at the groundbreaking, and then the other 2% when they deliver the building. So anyone who want to know about pre-construction, Miami and Orlando, they are 2 great cities for that, and the commissions are pretty good, guys. So I encourage everybody to do it and to take a look into that.
Oh, that's super interesting. Now, did you say you're on a team, or you?
I'm a solo agent.
You're a solo agent as well. Okay, very good. Okay, great. Hey, Patrick from Canada, tell us a little bit about you.
Morning, Laura.
Morning.
I've been a realtor for 26 and a half years now. I was with another company that touted a balloon. Let's just leave it at that. For 22 and a half years. And then I realized why I needed to move. My business partner is my wife. We had a small team at one point, got rid of it because I'm too hands-on. I would prefer to do it all. And it's not because I can't time manage. I just love doing it. I wake up every day and go, I'm ready to go to work. I don't hate my job like some people do. We cut our transactional down. We were doing probably about 55 to 75 deals a year, just the two of us. Shayla does the paperwork. I do the running around. We've taken it down to about 30, 40 transactions a year now, only because I love to play hockey. I play golf, and we have kids. Even though my kids don't want to hang out with me, I want to hang out with them. So I just kind of force myself on them. And million wise, I don't really track it that way, but it's probably, I don't know, 25, 30 million. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I do mine transactional. I try to hit a goal of about 35 to 40 roughly a year is where I go.
Got it. And it's interesting because you said 26 years and, I've done it 24 years. And
yeah,
I used to run a really big team, and I came from the big balloon too. And I had a team of 27 people. I ran 2 offices. Yeah. And then I got out of there and went over to another brokerage, and that didn't work out as well. But it's really been great being with EXP and just seeing what I could do with the team. I started a small team. So I've always had a team for literally 25 years, but last year I decided enough's enough. And I decided I didn't want to run a team anymore. So I've done really well by myself, super controlling, making sure everything's in order. So yeah, it's a little tough, but I think if you're an agent out there and, it looks like everybody here is actually a solo. We don't really have any teams this time around.
I would be the only
Robert.
one.
Sorry, Ricardo. Sorry about that. And so, yeah, it is interesting to hear. And so Sonny, did you ever have a team, or did you want a team, or you're just doing your own thing up there in California?
So no, I'm in real estate from last 4.5 years, and with EXP only 3.5. So basically, no, not a team. I never been part of team. The whole reason is my wife and I manage 2 hotels also and partnership in one. So I started this because when I was buying my first investment property, I was impressed with the realtor. And this is the story. Real estate actually chose me. I never chose real estate because when that happened, after that, when I bought this, the realtor got impressed that, hey, this is the first buyer in his 20 year of career who took him to a restaurant and gave him a gift also. Normally it's other way around. But what I was doing, I was just grateful for his help. And he actually asked me to come one time to his house, and over a drink, he asked me to read a Mike Ferry script, which I don't know what is this script is. So I said, what is this, a call center you guys doing? Because as per the script, looks like you're calling somebody. Then he said, why don't you stop by to my office because they do a cold calling. And that from there, then he started that because without a license, I was helping him. We did 4 transactions, and then motivated me to go for a license. And I had one thing clear. If I clear the exam in one time, I'll go ahead and get the, start real estate. So that was a journey. And no, I'm pretty new in real estate, not much, but thanks to EXP, which gave me a lot in 3.5 years. So maybe down the line, my wife just got a license last week. Maybe down the line, we will have a team. But as of now, I have to learn myself a lot of things.
Got it. And Ricardo, you want to just talk a little bit about, maybe there's a new agent or agents in the audience, and they're like, oh my gosh, should I start a team now or not? Would you want to give some advice on that and how you got to where you're at? Because, you do a good amount of volume.
Okay. This is just from like a money standpoint. This is not from a volume standpoint, because, people could be negotiating a 2.5 or 3% commission. From a gross commission standpoint, I don't recommend you make a team if you're making under $250,000 a year. The reason being is because I think as a sole agent, you can easily do that in production. That would basically be just 25 homes at 300,000, which would put you there at gross. Or if you specialize in the luxury market, that's probably 5 to 10, which means that you can continue to push. So from a point of leverage, I don't think you're maxed out yet as an agent. I think until you're either at the 250,000 gross, or you're doing 40 to 50 plus transactions with a transaction coordinator in place. And then you would have to have enough lead flow to where you would be able to at least distribute 2 to 3 quality clients. I don't mean leads. Like leads is like, oh, here you go, here's a list. I mean, like, hey, these people are looking to buy or sell with some sort of intention. If you can at least give the individual members 2 to 3 of those a month, I probably wouldn't recommend doing that. Until you get to that point and you have a stable base, I would probably then take the year or two it took you to build that business, kind of start to organically grow your clients so you're not spending money and you're still making revenue, and then maybe start investing in other lead systems that can provide the quality leads, so you can kind of maybe separate the business and you can see how you're doing by yourself and then how also the team is doing, and then you can kind of also make a decision. Okay, am I a good team leader? Can I lead a team? Do I have the infrastructure to lead a team? Or am I better off just keeping my margins higher? Because when you're running a team, your margins are going to become lower because you're going to spend more. So, for example, I had about 55 to 60% profit margin when I was solely selling net profit, net operating income after taxes. Now it's more around the 40 to 45% range because of the scale and the leverage. So if you're already barely surviving, barely making net operating profits, just know that when you scale, typically margins will go down.
That's great. That's great. That's it really is great. That's great advice. And I think that is super helpful. And I don't know if anybody heard the last couple of Icon conversations we had was if you're so busy, you don't really have to you have an official team. What you could have is basically just bring people in and do referral fees and bring them underneath you. Without having to have a team. So that was kind of cool the other time that they did talk about that. Robert or Patrick, do you want to jump in there at all? I know that you're solo agents, but are you thinking about teams, or are you just kind of good for now? And I know Patrick, you're kind of your wife is your team, but do you have any advice, Robert or Patrick?
I kind of agree with the last statement. If you're it's a little bit different in Canada because we have to do 40 deals to get to 250 a year. So our percentage is way different. You guys make way more money per transaction than we do. Ours is actually substantially less, and people still complain about it. But anyways, you know what? I tried the team thing. I think what I'm trying to do, and this is why we moved to EXP, I'm not so much going to build a team. I'm going to build a massive downline team. So what we're starting to do is add people to it. The goal is to get to about 50 people. And Shayla's going to become a trainer. I'm a mentor, and I do mentoring groups for the real estate board here and various other brokerages, which to me is actually good because they come back to me anyway and ask questions. We did try the team thing for a bit. I think my problem is that I like to get to work, get out of bed, get to work. And some of the people on our team, you know, they want to start at 10 and they got to walk their dog at 11 and then they go to the gym at 12. And I'm going, you know what? This isn't working for me. And I actually blew it up and I just went back to the grindstone. And I might do it at some point if I think about semi-retiring, but honestly, I love what I do. So I'm better off building a downline where we look like a team, feel like a team, act like a team, but we're not a team.
Correct. And I think that's just great advice too. And I ended up doing something very similar. I'm bringing people in, but I do coaching. So I do 90-day free coaching. I have a huge marketing. Exactly. Yeah. And I do a huge neighborhood farming. So I offer that in, and I'm slowly but surely just kind of trying to build it up without having a team. You know, I did have the best advice one time. Someone said, you know, you just like being around people. And I said, that's right. Well, then, you know, that's why I wanted a team, because I was always with somebody, you know. But it is so nice not to have that phone call at 11:15 at night that they're writing an offer at midnight. Why? I'm not sure. Or like you said, they're going to go to the gym while I'm already at the office for 4 hours. So it's better the way that I've planned it. So yeah, these are great, different ideas for everybody. And I wanted to go back to Sunny. Can you just, I'm going to just do this like a shoot off point, just two things for a brand new agent. If there's a brand new agent in this, in the arena, I just want 2 points. Can you give 2 advices? What would you give the advice to a new agent that has just started?
See, I always believe real estate is more than a business, a service. So if you do take this as a service, what you do, if you know, suppose for others will reflect, they will remember how you treated them. Remember that real estate is one of the biggest investment of many people's life. Maybe this is the only one home they are going to buy, or maybe many homes they will buy. But when you treat as a service and do it with full heart, 100% result will come. Because when I was under the training, I was doing my first transaction. I remember this couple who met me in an open house, and I just did my job. But within 3 years, the same couple gave me six referrals, and that particular customer was only buying a selling a mobile home, and I was moving them to a single family. But I was not aware that just doing a job right and making them, giving them all the brief and also take it as a service. Number second will be that making sure, just be disciplined, take it as a serious job, not as a business also. So whenever you are actually, you should have like daily habits. What is uh, my thing is, I think the top thing, which I wake up at 4:30, I jump in a cold shower, I prepare myself for the meditate for some time, and then hit the gym. Why I'm doing those morning thing is best for me, because I don't know how my day will be. Maybe I face something which I don't want to, run. If something happened, somebody said something and I'm feeling bad, no, I don't want that situation. So I prepare myself for the whole day. And when you prepare, nothing can go wrong. Even if something is wrong, I take it as, okay, something is going to be, everything happened for a reason. So two things: number one, service, and number two is always be positive.
Awesome. Yeah, you sound, I love your name. So this is awesome. You're super positive. Hey,
Thank you.
Ricardo, I would love to, I think this is just a great point. Can you tell us basically your morning routine, and then just shoot off two great things that you would give to advice to new agents?
I think it really depends on like my schedule and meetings. Like some days I'm up at 7, and then some days I'm up at 10, and then some days I get up right away and I'm just like, I have a bunch of showing appointments or listing appointments, and then I'm meeting with people. And then other days I kind of just like sit back at the house and I just kind of give instructions on what to do. So there's really not like a set structure. And then because again, the time I wake up also depends on the time that I go to bed. So I don't really have like a routine. I try to kind of have a set of tasks that I do every single day, or a list of goals. And as long as I achieve those goals, there's not a time frame. I know the time frame that's most advantageous. So for me, working hours would be like 4 to 7. That's when I do most of my phone calls. And then if I were to decide to do phone calls, they'll be from like 11:30 to 1:30, because that's typically people's lunch breaks, or between like the 8 to 10:30 mark. So those are kind of like the three main time frames that I try to focus on most of my tasks or things in general. I don't really have like, oh, I do this, I go to the gym at this time, or I eat this. I don't do any of that really.
Right. And I think the interesting part about you is that definitely, I think every personality is different, and you have to just go with what works for you. And I do like that. And do you have any advice for a couple of, just give us two talking points for new agents?
Um, I would say be careful who you look up to and what these people tell you, because it may not fit your lifestyle. Like, for example, I love Eric Thomas, but I don't believe that you should be waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I don't really think that's going to give you an advantage, because just to put a perspective here, the different side, let's say you wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. every morning. Cool. And I wake up at 8 a.m. You have 4 hours over me. Who are you going to be talking to at that time at 4 a.m. in the morning? Probably no one. So this is more for like self getting mentally ready. Fine. But if you have a system in place or a bigger multiple of leverage, you could work less hours and get more done. So that would be the first point. The second point would be get advice from people that have been sustainable and that have gradually grown their business year over year by a percentage or some sort of method that can be measured. That way you're not chasing individuals that try to clickbait you, that said, I went from $1 million to $50 million in 1 year. Okay, awesome. I mean, what's the probability of that? Or what did you do? Or how much time did you put in, right? So always look at the big picture. And then once you know who or what you want to commit to, make sure it's something that you can sustain. And it's not like, it's like doing a diet that you don't want to do, right? Like a Mediterranean diet or a keto diet. If it's awful for your body, don't do it. Just try to find bits and pieces that can make you better. Don't try to become someone else. And that's kind of what I did. Like Ricky Carruth, I took some of his stuff. Grant Cardone, Mike Sherrard, right? Like a bunch of different people. And then I kind of just made, hey, this is what's working for them, or I don't really do well at these times, or I'm not in the best mood at these times, so I like to work here. Kind of test things out, kind of like a workout regimen, right? That's what I would tell people, and give yourself 6 to 12 months to test these things out. So maybe
Right.
do it by every 3 months. If you really hate something, keep doing it until the 6-month mark. If you don't like it, then start to transition and start looking at other options, because that's what's going to get you thinking and advancing.
Right. I mean, those people that are waking up at 4 a.m, what about agents that are writing offers at 10 o'clock at night, and then you're not really getting the great sleep, and then your
Yeah, exactly.
it's
It's
screwed
like
up during
you're
the
gonna
day.
feel bad. It's like
Yeah.
you're gonna feel bad. I haven't had any sellers that are so dire of need to call me at 10 or 11. They're gonna text me the next day. So it's like you're working odd hours and you're doing all these extreme things, but how much are you really getting done, right? Like I had a conversation with a few people. It's like, I'm doing all this stuff on Friday. This is all my stuff. But I would say, okay, cool. You're doing all these things, but you're not going to get answers back until Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and you have a money making activity that you can do for tomorrow.
Correct.
Right.
That's the main word, right? What is your money making activity? That's the word.
Yep.
Is that really 4 a.m? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Robert, you want to jump in and just kind of give us your daily routine, and then give us a couple of talking points?
Well, I woke up at 5. It depends of what you're looking for, right? I see it more as I can make a lot of stuff for myself before 8 a.m. So, for example, I go to a gym at 5 a.m., then I came back to the house and I study. Then I don't know, organize whatever I need to do during the day. So by 8 a.m., I already have like a lot of things done. So I don't have to review my email, review what I have to do during the day. It depends on how you manage your time. For some people, waking up at, I don't know, 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, they do their work in those kind of hours. That's amazing. For me, it's different. I feel that I can do more stuff, and I have kids as well. So I rather in the evening have time for them and for my family. So not working until 9 p.m. So it depends how you organize your routine, right? And what works for you. I always do that, and it's been working for me. Other thing that I want to add is work smart. As I told you at the beginning, for me it's been a journey here because I'm doing this for I have my license just for 1 year. This is my first year.
Wow.
Okay, so I kind of like met the correct people, like the correct environment, the correct group, and now I expanded my vision, right? With other kind of like properties that I can sell, that I make more money than selling like regular properties. I know that there is a lot of people in different states, and not for all the states it work. In Florida, thanks God we have these kind of like buildings or pre-construction that we can take advantage of, and we are targeting a market that is Hispanic market. We have like we do a lot of like ads and generate leads in a lot of different countries. That's one thing that EXP also help us to do, having like other like connection in different countries. So we generate leads in all the Hispanic countries: Mexico, Argentina, Bolivia, Uruguay, Brazil, all these markets. They have people who want to move the money here. So as an advice, I don't know if you speak another languages. There are some people in Germany that they are investing really good here. So try to find more markets so you can expand your I don't know, like your list of
Got it.
people who can help.
Yep. That's
Right.
awesome. Well, right, exactly. Well, and also, Patrick, what do you have for us there for new agents, and just kind of a quick rundown, and then next we're going to be talking about neighborhood farming and see what you guys do. So, Patrick.
Mine's pretty simple. I do not get up at 4:30. I know there's a ninja way in the 5 a.m. phone call thing. And you know what? Fill your boots. It's not me. My clients are not awake at that time, and I don't want to get up that early, to be honest. But mine's pretty simple. I get up pretty much the same time every day. My clients aren't phoning me at 7:30, so big deal. That's my time. I feed the animals, get my coffee going. I answer my emails. Most of my emails are answered and gone through before the coffee's even ready. Then I sit down. Ironically, I'm a beta tester for a video game for Marvel Studios. So I give that about 15, 20 minutes. I check out of that. What I do is pretty straightforward. I have a program that I do and that I teach and mentor and everything else called Red, Yellow, Green. So it's like a traffic light. It's basically categorizing your day, your people, and you want to do this the day before, the night before, so you're not thinking about it all night, so you can get a good rest. Red is back burner stuff, stuff that needs your attention, but not all your energy. Yellow is somewhere in between. They could go red, could go green. Green are the people you need to focus on that day. Potentially, it's the color of money being green. That's the people where you need to focus your most energy on. So it's categorizing, and I found it categorizes everything from people to jobs to a to-do list to whatever it may be. But one of the other things I really try to focus on is, I have a thing called ODA, which is over deliver always. We're in the service industry. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all single family agents under an umbrella, but we're all each other's competition. So I try to focus on over delivering always, because then you never miss anything, and hopefully you did it better than the next guy. So mine is just a little bit different. Like I focus on, I have way too many little programs for mentoring, but another one is called Stadium. And for a new agent, it's use the categorizing, reach out to me if you want. I can go through it with you. I can even help you with it. Red, yellow, and green, I would start there.
You throw that in the chat. Will you throw that in the chat so people can see how to spell it and all that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. The other thing that I truly think you need to focus on, and keep in mind, everybody does a difference. There's stadium seating, and I call it the parking lot. So if you go to Arizona, you're going to watch the Cardinals, and the stadium's full of raving fans, and the parking lot is a bunch of people driving around having tailgate parties. We focus way too much as realtors of finding the new people, the new fan. There's a bunch of realtors walking around the parking lot trying to pick up people that don't even look like you, they don't act like you, and they don't want to work with you. But yet we forget about the raving fans that we have in our own stadium.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So you can have the parking lot. I'll take the stadium.
That's really good. That's really good. And I'm going to go back through here. What about, Patrick, do you do any kind of neighborhood farming?
I do. Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
We've been farming geographically in area. In our area, I kind of been doing the area, my wife and I, for about 21 years now. We've sold about 600 homes in the area. And it's not a big area. It's 3,500 homes. People tend to use you because you are the expert. Some people don't phone you because you know too much and they don't want you to succeed, but that's okay. You don't want those people anyway. But I do everything from, we do a garage sale. We have a lake community, so it's a private lake. So you do things on the beach. You can go down to the local 7-Eleven or something like that. If you guys have them down there, you can buy $1 Slurpees, go spend $50 and walk up and down the beach and give, especially with parents, give kids a Slurpee. Put your tag on the back, put a little sticker on the back. You will blow up so much on certain things like that, because you just ask them, just say, hey, do you mind scanning this and give me a shout out on Facebook? Easter, go buy little Easter thing, drive around your neighborhood, see what lights are on, knock on the door and go, hey, I'm the Easter bunny today. Here you go. It's nothing crazy. And I'm talking, you are spending zero money in the big scheme of things. I mean, yes, you can do print stuff into their mailbox, or you can run the local Facebook page and stuff like that. Try to be different than, if everybody's going right, go left. And there are so many things you can do as a new agent. Honestly, I'll put my deets in the thing. Phone me. The first year I made $250,000. My expenses were under 30 grand.
Wow.
I felt like I couldn't afford to market.
Right.
So my accountant at the time went, oh my God, you got to go buy some stuff, dude. The government's going to take half your money.
Mm-hmm.
So and don't overthink till you go into paralysis. Just act. If you don't do anything, you already failed.
Right.
Do it. If you fail, learn, reassess, over deliver, and out you go. Red, yellow, green, honestly, for me, changes everything, because it categorizes everything I do on a day-to-day basis or month to month.
That's great. And that's such great advice. I do a lot in my neighborhood. I'm actually found an off-market property. So we're closing on that next week. For $525. I have an estate I'm listing for $775, and then I have one up the street for $850. And this just exploded in the last 2 weeks, actually. So I do a lot in my neighborhood. I do scholarships. I know it's a little much, but I give $1,000 away, give them to 2 different college students. This year, I couldn't get into the newsletter fast enough because they switched over. And yesterday I went and knocked on a door and literally gave $500 to one of the neighbors where their child's going to a local college. And, to me, it's like, if I can give something away in the neighborhood, it's so worth it. I mean, you're talking about my listings are going to be 2.5 million. I will do almost 6 million this year to date in my neighborhood. I teach a whole class on that, but it is crazy. And it's just doing the little things and just showing that you care, Robert, do you have anything that you could just push out there that you do? Maybe a couple of things you do in the neighborhood farming or something like that?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like I said,
you just started. That's right. You're a year in. That's right.
International clients only. So
okay.
I do local, but not like farming.
Okay.
It's similar. Like you have to work with your most like with a prospect that you can give them like value, right? So there is my farming is like with these international clients. I'm always like kind of like giving them value like through social media, not selling all the time, like property, showing a house, showing a building. No, you have to give them value, give them like where to invest, why to invest in the city. Like I love like all the content. Someone mentioned Mike Sherrard, and Mike Sherrard like teach everybody how to, like, you can do videos from your city, then from your local area, and being someone who can give the people value information so they can take advantage of that, and then they're going to look for you when they're like coming to buy or to sell, because you are not trying to sell them all the time, but you are like providing value for them.
Right. Excellent. Ricardo, what you got for us?
I don't really like farm like a specific area. I would just farm like specific beach markets.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess you could say it would just be like particular areas of the beach, and it's mostly townhomes and single family homes, and maybe like
but when I do the farm too, I mean, do you add some of your client events in that as well? Because my neighbors are my clients, so that's kind of like it's a 2-for-1,
No, because the radius is so big, and like I said, most of these people buying on the beach don't live here.
Got it.
So it's very hard to work everyone's vacation schedule. So it's almost impossible.
Okay. Yeah, different demographic. Right.
Yeah, that's why I think I said I mostly do that one-on-one. But as far as farming, it's not really. It's just more. We have 5 or 10 buildings that we recommend really for condos, and then Probably like 3 to 5 pockets from like Destin and 30A PCB that we recommend, and those are really like the areas that we focus on, or that
Okay.
we particularly sell, buy and sell. So that's what we really just farm per
Got
se.
it. What about you, Sunny? What are you doing there in California?
So there are a few things I follow, like sending a flyer, just sold or just listed. That's the one thing. And social media is my major. I always try to post non-real estate also, like just talking about gym or just doing what I'm doing in a daily life. And I try to participate myself in a donate food campaign anywhere is happening. So I try to be there. End of the day, you have to be you, what you think is working for you. And one thing which I do is, like, every year I try to prepare some kind of my logo, like a t-shirt or coffee bottles or something, and I try to give it to as many as people I can see. My motive is to, when I meet people, when I'm meeting strangers, I just want to tell them I do real estate. Maybe I will not get business out of 100, maybe one or two, but they will know, okay, this realtor was there. And end of the day, everyone is going through something. When you show them a smile, they won't will remember, and they might give you business. So this is what I follow.
Right. And what do you give away?
Last year I printed 100 of water bottle, which says Sunny the Realtor with my number and email ID. And in the food, I just contribute maybe depending upon every quarter, $1,000, or sometime it's 500. Like this time on 18th, I'm doing in an Indian temple. There's a
Mhm.
food drive, and they wanted me to, so I said, okay, I will go ahead, and it's 550, and people can have lunch at that time. And it's just a religious purpose. It's not like somebody hungry, people are homeless coming, but I just want to be wherever I can contribute.
Right. And out of I'll just let anybody answer these last couple of questions, but I sit on the board of the trustees of the JCOC, which is a homeless shelter here locally. And yesterday we had to make some calls. We had to make calls to the donors, and I was, it's God. I was like, oh God, here I go again. I have to make all these calls, but it was just a really cool thing, even to connect with the donors. And I just love giving back to the homeless community. I do every commission check, I do give $250 away. I do, probably 40 transactions a year. So I don't mind giving $10,000 to $15,000 a year just in to the homeless shelter. We're doing a capital campaign right now. Is anybody on this panel? Do you do any charity work and give money? Does anybody want to answer that?
So every transaction I try to keep like 10% side, which I was actually doing when I was working in a hotel also. That time also, we try to keep 10% of our income for donation purpose. That means I'm not looking for particular. If I see any family struggling, I just give them. Or if I'm driving by and I see somebody like who need money, I just give them. So
That's
this
awesome.
is like in my culture, giving. So which actually give me happiness. I'm not doing for somebody else. End of the day, it give me a good sleep.
Right. That's awesome. Ricardo, by chance, or Robert?
Not like traditionally set. No, it's more like situation by situation. And it's typically like sometimes I just do it for the holidays, or if I just see a situation where I feel like I need to step in. But it's not preset or anything.
Got it. Yeah, and I've talked to several agents that they will pick a client if they sold a lower end home to somebody, and they know they're new to the area. They will buy them a Christmas dinner or take them a turkey. Or something like that. So I think that's kind of cool too. And we did talk about this last time. I do know that you do that case by case, and I think I really like that idea. What about Patrick? Do you do anything like that? You've been doing this for a while, so I know that you
Yeah,
have some good advice.
it's a yes and no. Like
Mhm.
a lot of the stuff I do, like I'm helping with I did a charity golf tournament yesterday for the Children's Hospital. But I don't market myself and stuff like that. Because it's not about you at that point. It's about what the cause is. I'm doing another one. I'm helping organize one for military vets and police firefighters and stuff with PTSD. But again, I don't it's not about me at that point. So yes, you'll contribute money, you'll contribute sponsors, you'll get prizes, you do all that stuff. But honestly, it's not about me. So I don't go in and market myself expecting a return. You go in silently and people remember that anyway. Little things that we do. Yeah. Do we do food stuff? Do we volunteer? Do we all 100%? Like we'll go to the food banks, we'll do the soup kitchens, we do all of that kind of stuff. My way giving back to realtors is I sit on 3 committees on the board. My wife is a director for the Calgary Real Estate Board. So we do give back. Do we cut specific checks? I would say no. But indirectly, you are supporting certain things and giving your money that way, but nobody knows you're doing it.
Right. Your time for us is really valuable, to be honest with you, as far as that's concerned.
It is, and it's in the event or whatever it is. I think what drives me crazy is when realtors do an event for a charity component and they make it more about them than the actual charity they're doing. It's like, then you should have just created your own thing for your trip to Hawaii, because really, I can't go for things like that. It's not about me at that point. It's something bigger.
No, I totally get that. I get that.
I totally agree with what Patrick said. Really, when you do that, like with that intention of like getting like clients or something, I don't think that's correct. Everybody do it how they want it. But for example, us in the group that we have, there is a few people who have like the dream of like building homes in different countries, for example in Dominican Republic or something like that. So that's the way that we can contribute with those kind of projects, but not for like getting clients or like appearing in social media and I'm doing this and get like recognition for that, because like Patrick said, it's not anymore about them, it's about you. So that's the way that we do it. Like we contribute like for like good causes, like giving money so they can build homes, or like Ricardo said, like when you do it because it's something that born in you and you see someone and you want to help them. Well, that's amazing. That's the way that I think it should be done.
Right. Exactly. I did see there's some agents, and they every time they sell a house, they are showing a check, and it's uncomfortable. I think, like when I give, I don't advertise that. I'm just letting you guys know what I do just to help out, but it's a little uncomfortable seeing it. Like, ooh, that's just
happens all the time.
And it doesn't feel right.
It's a knee-jerk reaction. We just had somebody who's a nice realtor go out and advertise, thanking her clients that she just bought $180,000 Range Rover.
No.
Do you really think they like you at this point? Like,
oh my God.
Don't brag and don't humble brag. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a humble brag. It's very dangerous. That's got it. That's so bad. So everybody that's in here, that's really bad. Don't do that.
Do not do that. I'm telling you, you might as well start slitting your own wrist.
Yeah, absolutely.
People do not like you.
So listen, I know we have about 10 minutes left. I wanted to throw this out there, because everybody's in this, how do we get leads? And I want to do leads and I want to pay for leads. Can I just start? Sunny, do you buy leads or do you pay for leads, or what do you do? Do you have any kind of free lead advice, what people can do instead of buying leads?
No, actually, I never bought a lead. But yes, when I joined EXP initially, I was part of a Zillow Flex team. I was doing that, but for a year only. I don't advise people to buy lead. End of the day, you listen to everybody and do what you think is right? So what I do is every Christmas time, I try to be a Santa for all my past clients in 4 years.
That's awesome.
So I try to be 4 years since November. I start and going to one city, one direction. So what happened is all those customers whom I've served in 4.5 years, I'm still in touch with them. So they remember. And most of the time, the motive is not to get a business, but the motive is that, hey, I remember you. And, they might come back and say, hey, Sunny, I was thinking about you. My brother wants to buy, my sister or somebody. But intention is just to thank them. Because of them, I am doing good in real estate. Because of them, I am an icon. So I just want to thank them, whether I have done a business this year with them or last 4 years ago with them. So this is what I do. Yes, I tried. Whenever leads company try to approach me, I tell them I will pay you, but nothing upfront. I'll pay you when
Right.
I close the transaction. And end of the day, no one give me any lead.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly right. That's not they'll call you all day long for the same thing. What about you, Ricardo?
I would say, yeah, I do spend probably like 30 to 45,000 a year on leads,
Mhm.
but I didn't start spending that. I started year one around 10,000, and then as I started to make more money, I went to 20, 30, 40, and probably I'm going to go into 50 and 60. I
And
do
is it
think
mostly Zillow? What's your main
no,
lead?
no, it's like Facebook, Google. I do some Zillow. Some is also like I also run organic content, and then I may pay for some of that organic content to reach out to a certain audience, and then we'll do like a retargeting pixel. That way, they start to see our information more. So like I target different audiences. Not everything is lead acquisition. It could also be information for them to see me or establish some sort of credibility. So basically, Facebook, Google, Instagram, LinkedIn, and bigger pockets would be those avenues. And Facebook and Instagram and Google are paid. That's the chunk of my money. And then the rest of the budget goes to like Zillow, just to have some diversification in the market. But I would say that it definitely can help you grow your business. I would just make sure that you truly understand the cost of conversion, which means that if I spend X amount of money out, this is how long it'll take me to close, and this is how much money I'm going to make. So you can actually see what your real return on the lead is, so you don't run out of money. Because I feel like the connotation is, oh, do you pay for leads or do you not pay for leads? And in the back of my mind, it's like, have you had a really bad experience with leads, or have you had a good experience with leads, right? And then how much money have you spent and how much money did you see? So you kind of have to track that.
And then
And
what's the reality of the 1 out of 100? What's your numbers?
I would say probably I'll give you my market. Every $700 I spend, I convert. That's a
That's
lead
good.
conversion.
Mhm.
So for every lead that I spend on a campaign for $700, there is a lead conversion typically within that pocket of
Got it.
leads that have been generated. And then the average commission is probably around 15,000. So you could just do the math there.
Mhm.
So again, let's say it's super simple, and when you look at lead stuff, it should just be numbers, right? So let's
Right.
say you look at it over 16 months or 6 months, right? $700 per lead. Let's say you wanted to generate 3 high quality leads, right? That would be $2,100 times 6. That's $12,600 on. And if you do a really good job and your average commission is 15,000, that's about a $90,000 potential return, which you can make over a 6 period of time. But as you start to become better, the affinity of the ads will also start to drop, and so the conversion will start to increase. So your costs should gradually start going down, and then obviously not everyone's going to buy on the same months, so it's a snowball effect, right? And I think that's when, after the year happens, your year and a half of solid lead conversion using one system. I don't mean like I signed for 3 months at Realtor and oh crap, it didn't work, and now I'm at 3 months at Zillow. Like,
Right.
you have to do something for 6 to 12 months. If you do not have the ability to do that and spend at the appropriate spend where that conversion is, because you are also competing against other businesses, which is what I feel people fail to recognize. They're only spending $500 a month, and it's like, okay, well, to get the cream of the crop, you have to be at a 2,000 or 2,500. Now, if that's where you got to start, fine. You're going to have to put more time and be a little bit more patient, but don't switch over.
Right. And the consistency is just really the key, because some agents just give up and they're like, wow, we're not doing it. And just like do exactly what you're saying. They're spending.
And if you want to have a team, I'm sorry, you probably are going to have to pay for leads, unless if you have $100,000 to $200,000 followers, or you have closed over 100 to 200 million in business. You're probably going to have to spend some money somewhere, or there's just not going to be enough productivity for the amount of infrastructure that you have.
Right. And then you
So
have agents coming, and going because they're unhappy because you don't have enough leads. And then that causes a whole other problem.
And that's the thing. I think they have enough leads. They don't have enough quality leads.
Correct.
Because again, if my conversion of one prospect is $700, and I'm not saying your market's going to be the same, but let's say your market is 500 and your budget is 1,000 and you're complaining that they're not converting, well, they may convert in a year or two. You just don't have the quantity of their output for the desire that you want.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what people have to look at it. You have to look at it from a perspective of business and a business owner. This is not about selling homes necessarily or buyers. This is top funnel coming down, and what these people are willing to purchase, just like any other consumer. And if you make it really simple, there's a lot of videos or even other marketing tips which you can go on that are not even real estate related. Like, I don't know if you know who Alex Ramosi is. He's 32 years old. He sold over $100 million of his businesses, and he scaled them from $0 to $100 million. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking the same steps. I'm seeing, like, what is my lead acquisition? What is my time? If I want to convert more, I may have to spend more, because when I spend more, I bring time closer to me, right? So these are all decisions you have to make as an agent when you're looking at your growth, and your growth isn't just money. Your growth is also the amount of time you spend, which equates to the amount of money you make. So I could be making $400,000 to $500,000 working less or more than some other individuals that are structuring their lead systems or putting a lead magnet, which is attention to the public, whether you're doing it digitally or you're doing it physically. When these people are saying, oh, I'm not doing any lead generation. Yeah, you are. When you're doing these events, when you're spending money, when you're doing any sort of productivity into the market, wanting an outcome to benefit you, you are doing it.
Right.
You're just doing it from a time perspective or an indirect money market perspective.
Exactly. And there's
I can add something that Ricardo said.
Sure.
That's very important, because it's all about skills, right? For example, Ricardo, he already has like a really good conversion, because he developed that skill, right? Like, he's been growing up and he's been investing time and effort to get to that point that he can convert now in that amount of money that he spent. But at the beginning, I believe that a lot of people probably they need more like a non-qualifying leads, so they can talk with more people and they can develop that skills that probably will get them to where Ricardo is right now. So one way is what he said, like Facebook leads, Google leads, YouTube. That's one way of like developing that skills, because you're getting a lot of leads, and you are talking with them and preparing yourself to be that agent of that amount of money, or that with that skill of conversion. I just want to add that, because I think what he said is very important, about we are entrepreneurs and we have a business. We are not just realtors. You have to treat yourself as a business owner. So you have to invest money. You have to invest time. It's not everything about the conversion or like the commission. But for example, if you are a dentist, you cannot do everything. You have to like hire someone who do the appointments and the cleaning and all that stuff. Same with us. We have to like invest in leads, invest in time, so we can develop those skills. And gradually, you don't want to invest like $1,500 monthly or a week. I don't know. Probably you can start like with $200, trying to then keep going up, keep, generating more leads, making more talks to clients. So in that way, you can keep growing your business gradually. And like any business, sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes the investment is paid off. Sometimes it doesn't. But at least you never lose. You win or you learn. That's it.
Yeah. And then one thing I wanted to add, Another thing is like, I feel like a lot of people are looking at this from like a business to consumer standpoint on how to get more. But one thing that we should take a look at, which will help you build a better business to business relationship, which is what the lead system is also the way that you're talking about your business and how much how much you're wanting to spend into your business. Facebook already knows I spend X amount of money. Facebook already knows I've been advertising with them with 3 to 4 years. Same with Google, right? I already have a certain placement, and they have seen that my gradual spends have been going up. So from a relationship standpoint, from business to business, they're saying, wow, Ricardo's being successful. He's been with us for 3 to 4 years. He only keeps spending more money, and he only keeps growing more, right? So now Google and Facebook will actually reach out to you, or they'll put you on a higher placement. And I didn't start at that $700 conversion. I started much higher, but it has gradually gone up as well because my business relationships has also gone as well. And that goes with the marketers that you're talking to and the people you're communicating with. And that's what I think takes you to that next level or increases that lead quality, which I think some people don't look at necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, Patrick, do you have something to say really quick? And then
yeah, totally. I'll make it really, really quick.
Sure, so go ahead.
Lead gen for me is not for me.
Well,
you know what?
And that's the end of the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, everybody. Take care. No, it's just, I looked at it and I did try it. I really did. I gave it a whirl because you know what? I can talk to whoever, whatever, anytime. I don't care. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm attracting people that don't really know me. I'm the brand. I'm the brand.
Right.
I'm the guy. So at the end of the day, for me to convert 3 out of 100 or talk to somebody, they ghost you, they come back, they don't. That's not building for myself. And this has nothing to do with how anybody else does their thing. We are in North America. Calgary is the highest pay-per-click in all of North America next to Houston. And we have the biggest team in EXP in this city. $200,000 a month is being spent.
Wow.
So you want to keep up to that? Not happening.
Right.
So
exactly.
when I looked at the conversion rate for me, which I felt like a high school kid, 18, of course, because I got to make sure to say the same thing. I felt like a guy in a bar trying to pick up a girl. Like I'm phoning these random people, don't even know who the heck I am. They're clicking on my website and everything else. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just one of these guys. So at the end of the day, I'm the brand. I spend money on growing long-term. I'm at a point where repeat and referral. I focus more on the client becomes a client for life as opposed to a one and done potentially. Not saying that it doesn't work for other people, but I chase people that want to call me and work with me as opposed to me chasing and calling them and hoping they work with me. That's all.
Right. And the best advice I've ever had is the money's in the post closing, you guys. It's not in the first, it's not the first person you're going to sell. It's the post closing, because that I've heard this today. It's like you sell their family house and that house, and you do just a great job, and then you get them to do your Google reviews, and those are the post closings where the money's at. Go ahead.
It just long-term growth. But everybody does it differently. It's like when I said about stadium. I just focus on that's my field. I stand in the middle of the stadium. My fans are in the seats.
Right.
I focus on the people that already like me because you're not going to appeal to everybody. That's why there's so many realtors.
Right. There's so many realtors. Exactly right. And a lot of people are getting out. So a lot of people are getting out. So just stick to it. You guys, EXP has great, we have great forums coming and the training's so great. And I just want to say thank you so much, you guys. It's been great to have you guys on the panel. I know we've gone over a little bit. Brian, are you there? Brian?
I sure am if I unmute. How are you, Laura? You guys are amazing. Serious value. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us for ICONversations today. If you are watching this on YouTube, smash that like button. We are here every single Friday at 8:45 a.m., 11:45 Eastern Time, Pacific Time, Eastern Time. And we'll see you next week. Sonny, you're coming back next week, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well,